What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Fossil Fighters Champions. Last time, we defeated Zanga Zanga and saved the entirety of the Caliosteo Islands. And this time, we are going to be starting the post-game, which quite literally means like 25 different things all open up to us right now. But I think a good place to start is actually with the rewards that we got for completing the main story. So our first stop today is actually going to be the Fossil Guild on Cranial Isle, because we need to talk to Sonya here. Because we unlocked the Patrol Team Assemble sonar cover, which I am just going to equip. And I actually really like this sonar cover, but I think the best way to show it off is actually just going to be going to Rainbow Canyon to see what it looks like. I really like this sonar cover because it shows basically all of the main characters. It shows the male and female protagonists. It has Pauline hidden up in the corner. Even her mask is shown on here, which is really, really weird because the mask is like an antagonist at some point during the game. And poor Todd gets shoved into the corner. Even the mask has more screen area than Todd does. It's really sad. But our next location is going to be back on Ribular Island because we need to go talk to Icon. The reason we need to talk to Icon is actually because we unlocked a lot of icons from just completing the main story. And the reason for that is because they give us literally the entire alphabet. So, just a casual 26 extra icons. And then if we scroll over a little bit more, they also give us, where is he? The Zanga Zanga icon, which I much prefer the Zanga Zanga icon to the alphabet icons because look how cool that is. I love how that looks. But those are really the only two things that we unlocked that are equipable. There was one more unlock, but we'll go over that in a future episode because it is a very big part of the post game. But now that we've gone over everything we unlocked from actually completing the game, I think the next big thing that we should do is really the only thing they've told us about at the end of the main story. And that is the first leg of the Caliosteo Super Cup. So if we go inside the fighter station and talk to the receptionist, hi, and welcome to the Fossil Station. The Ribular Island Battle Royale is currently underway. This tournament is open to carnivorous vivosaurs only. Please check the diet portion of your fossil museum to ensure your chosen vivosaurs will qualify. To enter, just go through the door to your left. And what she was saying is actually if you go open up your status screen and scroll over to your fossil case or your Vivosaur Dino Metal case, you can go up to Fossilary, and if you click on that, it gives you a complete list of every single Vivosaur you have cleaned so far. And if you click on them and go over to these three dots, they actually tell you the height of the dinosaur, the genus of the dinosaur, the diet, and the era of the dinosaur, which are all very important things for the Super Cup. Because as she just clarified, each leg of the Super Cup has a different criteria of Vivosaur that you're allowed to bring. And specifically for this one, it's carnivorous Vivosaurs. And there's one more thing I need to go over before actually going into this. As you can see, the T-Rex is a carnivorous Vivosaur. So if we go to the T-Rex Lord, it actually doesn't tell you what the diet of the T-Rex Lord is or what the era of the T-Rex Lord is. And that is because Super Evolvers keep the same diet as their base forms, but also since Super Evolvers didn't really exist, like the T-Rex actually existed in real life while the T-Rex Lord doesn't, the T-Rex Lord and all Super Evolvers actually have no era, which is very important for later. But with all of that being said, actually almost all of my Venusaurs are carnivorous, which I did not plan. But the only one that isn't is actually Harpy, which means I can use basically my whole team for this. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start round 1. On the recommendation of our princess, Minister Pomposa has taken up battling with fossils. Underestimate Minister Pomposa at your own peril. All right, getting into this fight with Minister Pomposa. We have the speed advantage, which is very nice. But I want to actually go to info first, because these fights are really difficult. Not only do they put a restriction on your team building that you can do, but also every single Venusaur in these fights are rank 20, so they're all max rank. To put that into perspective, Obsidian is ranked 18 and Medusa is ranked 19. So I'm coming into these fights without max ranked Venusaurs. And also, all of them are going to have super fossils also put to them. There's no super evolvers on this team specifically, even though Raja could have been a Giga Raja. But if we scroll over, actually no, it doesn't show. But all 3 of these have 100-point silver body fossils, meaning that they have boosted defense and speed. But luckily for us, they are all close-range Venusaurs, and I am bringing Obsidian to this fight. So let's see how much damage we can do. I also brought Medusa because I wanted to have the one-hit KO chance, just in case things got out of hand. And also, with Medusa's support effects, it makes it so, since they're close-range Venusaurs, that they will do less damage when they are at their most effective range, which is very helpful for me. But that, as you can see, even with the Link, we did not even half to that acro, which is kind of devastating. What is Minister Pomposa gonna do? Also, luckily for us, since they are all close-range Venusaurs, most of them have negative support effects from their side as well. And they're going to want to attack from the front most of the time. So they're going to have lowered stats as a result, which is really good for us. But I actually want to bring up one more thing, because in between attacks, you will see on the top screen the commentators, and I'm surprised that I haven't brought this up yet, but these commentators are so funny. They also have names. So the T-Rex one is called Tyranno, and the Triceratops one is called Triptera, which I just find very funny. And they say some pretty wild things. They'll comment on if you do super effective attacks. They'll comment on the state of the battle. They'll comment, like he is doing right now, on your placement and stuff. It's really cool how they actually do all of that. And I think I actually want to quicken Obsidian here as well, just to make sure Obsidian doesn't take too much damage. But I really like the commentators in this game over the first game, because the first game had commentators, but they never really said much, and they really just commented on like super effective attacks. And I just think these commentators are much funnier and much more unique in their commentary. And even at the end of battles, they're like, "Oh, a smashing win!" Think of if the Pokemon Stadium commentator was in this game, and that's what Tyranno and Triptera are in my head. But let's go ahead and inflame. And I want to take out this Raja here, I think. Because if I go to my info, what do you guys have? You have charge, You have an Excite skill, and you have a Scare skill, so you are the most dangerous one, the Daspleto. But unfortunately, it's too far back, and I really want to take out this Raja. I don't want it to be able to charge and hit me for a lot. So we're just going to take it out right here, not really worry about it. And I think I'm just going to re-up the Quicken. That way, if the Daspleto tries to attack Obsidian with the Scare effect, it has less of a chance to actually hit me. But let's see what Minister Pomposa does now. Okay, he's probably going to attack with both, if I'm assuming what he's going to do. Please miss. Oh, you're attacking. Why are you attacking Medusa? Why are you so scared of Medusa? That's so strange. Maybe it's the one-hit kill move that they're scared of, but that doesn't really make sense either. Thank you for missing. That is super helpful. Obsidian, I think we are just going to hit this thing for a lot with this Lordly Buster. Can we take this out in one hit, actually? 214, 274. Link? Does Link take it out? That's 16 damage. You know what? You tried, Rock. I'll give it to you. I can't give you a ton of props because, my god, 16 damage is nothing. But you at least gave it like an honest effort. Please do not scare me. Please do not scare me. Thank you. Scare is the worst status at this point. Scare and Enrage just ripple the T-Rex Lord. It just becomes so bad. And honestly, I'm not super worried about them at this point. Both of them are basically almost taken out anyway. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to Inflame again. And then I think I'm going to take out the Daspleto because I'm not worried about this Acro at all. So we're just going to Lordly Strike this Daspleto and hopefully take this out. Okay, good. It actually took it out. Unlike the 16 damage from Rock. And do I want to... I think I'm going to Quicken as well. Just to give it the extra speed for this next move. Or for this next turn. And Acro, you've lost access to your team attack, so what are you going to do? Also, another reason I'm not worried about this Acro is because, like I said earlier, Medusa is making it have 14% less attack, which is just making my team more defensive, not to mention the 9% boost I get to my defense from Rock. So we're just going to punch this thing and hope that it stops moving. Okay, thank God. I was actually worried for a second that it wasn't going to end the battle there. And Phoenix has won in impressive fashion. And these fights actually give you a lot of points. I believe all of them give you 30 points, which is a ton. And speaking of which, we get rank 19 for Obsidian. And Medusa up to rank 20, maximum rank. Now all that's left is Obsidian. It seems I've defeated Minister Pomposa this day. And yet, it was fun. Perhaps Minister Pomposa was wrong to dismiss this whole fossil fighting business. Yes, well, duty calls. Alright, with Minister Pomposa taken out, I also need to bring up that each of the legs of the Caliosteo Super Cup are 3 matches long. So it's 3 fights that you can do however many you want to do in a row. They don't actually force you to do all 3 of them in a row. But I think we're going to go right into round 2. And see a very familiar face. Hiya, I'm Rosie, the champ from Vivasaur Island. You seem nice, but I'm still going to squash you like a grape in the road. All right, getting into this fight with Rosie. We actually outspeed her barely. That was very close. But Rosie's team is actually a full fire type team. And unfortunately, we're not able to bring Harpy because Harpy happens to be a herbivore. But Rosie's team also focuses on support effects. As you can see, even with Medusa's negative support effects, this Seismo has plus 90 to defense and plus 60 to evasion, or to speed, which is crazy. And I believe it's coming from, is it Andorange? No, it's coming from this Smilo, which means we want to take out Smilo as soon as possible. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflame Zephyr, and I decided to bring Zephyr instead of the T-Rex Lord to this fight because Zephyr actually has 2 more attacks than Obsidian does, which I thought was very funny because Obsidian, or the T-Rex Lord, has one of the highest natural attack stats in the game. But I guess that one rank actually does make a difference here. And we're going to Tefla scale this Smilo and see how much damage this does. That is not a lot. And now, Brock, now you do more than 16 damage. This is actually a bad type matchup for you. How did you do more damage? And I think I actually want to quicken Rock here because they are going to attack Rock if I give them the chance. So giving Rock just a little bit more evasion is going to be helpful. But I actually want to talk about Rosie because Rosie is a very big character from the first game, but she also just straight up lies to you here because there's no tournament in the first game, or there's no tournament on Vivasor Island at all. The only thing that happens on Vivasor Island is that you can progress through the game or progress through levels until you eventually become Master Rank. But there's no, like, tournament or anything. And also, Rosie never participates in any of the fights until the post-game, where she actually does participate. But, like, she's never, like, a boss in that game. And it's kind of weird. But we took out Smilo, which is very helpful for us, because now we don't have the plus 90 to defense, which makes this a lot easier of a fight. Honestly, her bringing a bunch of support Vivasaurs makes this fight a lot easier than the first one, actually, even though I don't have a tight matchup like I did in the first match. Another thing about Rosie is that I believe at the end of the first game, she's supposed to still have the Dig-a-Dig curse, which is weird because she doesn't here. The only character in this game that does the Dig-a-Dig curse is Pauline. But even then, it's not like super overdone. I just find it weird that they just took away the Dig-a-Dig curse from Rosie because it was one of her funnier parts of the game. But if we can take out this Milo here, I don't think we're going to take it out in one hit. But I want to be able to do a lot of damage to it because they rotated me to the front using a gold Excite skill, which I am not a fan of, especially if they continue to rotate me. That's another reason I actually didn't bring Obsidian, because if Obsidian got the golden Excite skill put on it, and it rotated to the back, basically whatever Vivasaur was in my attack zone would die instantly, because Obsidian just has awful support effects. It's just not a good Vivasaur to have back there. But if Zephyr gets rotated to the back, the only thing that happens is that it doesn't have good attacks anymore, since Zephyr doesn't actually have any support effects, which I think is a better trade-off in the long run of this fight. And actually, thankfully, we're still getting the minus 15% to attack. Unluckily, we get crit, so, you know, good and bad, I guess. Can we rotate back to the front? Can you be nice to me? Thank you. I was really worried. Let's go ahead and we're going to Tefla. Yeah, let's go ahead and Tesla scale. Try to get this down at least a little bit. I know that Pandaranch is bringing down my attack, but there's not actually a whole ton I can do about it. I think I'm going to Raptor Kick to try to get some more damage on this Seismo. 56 damage isn't a whole ton, but it's at least some chip damage. And we're going to once again Quicken Rock just in case. Because I feel like as soon as I don't Quicken Rock, they're going to attack him. And Rock will fold to anything these guys hit it with. Alright. We're no longer excited, and we're no longer inflamed. Hopefully next attack takes out this Seismo. And we can move on with our day. Oh god. Thank you. That's fine. Thank you. I forgot that the Andoranch had a team attack that just enraged your Vivisaurs, which is devastating. Also, Seismo literally just used Flamethrower. And I'm less worried about the regular Excite. It won't rotate me, and I'm not planning to rotate anyway. So we're just going to Inflame and take out this Seismo. Or Simo right now, so that Andoranch can no longer use its team attack. Because that would be devastating if Zephyr got hit with it. And from this point onwards, I don't actually think that this Andoranch has anything that I'm worried about. It has Super Inflame, which I guess can buff up its own attack, but I don't think it's going to be a big problem. And even at this point, if it rotates to the front and tries to take out Rock, I'm actually okay with that at this point. Because I would get a lot of FP, and it would basically let me take out this Andoranch in one turn. And actually, I'm going to Dirt Spray the Andoranch. Because I want to Golden Rage it. Yeah, so doing that is basically going to make it so this Andoranch can no longer hit me, no matter what it does. And I think that basically seals this fight. I don't think there's a single thing this Andoranch can do to actually hurt me now. I was debating using Law of the Jungle, which I haven't actually had to use a lot this Let's Play. I guess I've gotten lucky with some of my team composition and team placements and the opponents attacking me to where I wouldn't have to actually heal my attack zone. But we are just going to Tesla Thor and see how much this does. Unfortunately, it's still only one attack because Zephyr can only do one attack, apparently. I think maybe one more turn. If this Andoranch would move to the front, it would speed this up a ton. But no, he's just going to sit in the back and be a scared little dog. I really like Andoranch's design, actually. I just don't like how it has really nothing going for it except for that Super Inflame skill. But we have Inflame still, so I think we're just going to attack. And even if this doesn't take it out, we get Link. We get Link. And that takes it out. And that is the end of the fight with Rosie. And also, I am immediately proven wrong. We got 40 points for winning this fight, which probably means we get 50 points for the last one. And with that, we get our final rank 20 Vivisaur on our team. Obsidian finally max rank. Hey, I was going easy on you just to be nice. That's it, pal. Next time, I'm gonna wail on you. And with Rosie taken out, that just leaves one fight left. Somehow I knew I would meet you here. I expected nothing less than your finest effort. Well then, shall we dance? All right, in our rematch with Rupert, we outspeed him by a lot. And also, in true Rupert fashion, he brings his entire water-type team once again with Mappo, Shioni, and Grona, all ranked 20. Weirdly enough, he didn't bring his Mappo King, which means this is kind of a downgrade from the last time we fought him. I mean, not in rank, because he's basically twice as strong as he was last time we fought him, but like, in execution, kind of a weaker team, honestly. But I think we want to take out this Mappo first, because between the Mappo and the Krona, those two are going to be his strongest attackers, because Shioni doesn't really have very high attack. But the Shioni does have the best support effect out of all of them. So this is actually a pretty good water specialist team, since it's not just 3 Mappos in a trench coat like his last time. But we are just going to Tefla scale once again, because I'm hoping the 9% extra attack balances out with his plus 5% defense. And actually, right here, I think I want to Raptor combo just to take out the Mappo. Does this take out the Mappo? 32, 38. I don't know if the crits matters, but I'll take it. And that just leaves him with the 2 mid-range Vivisaurs, which, luckily, since they're mid-range, they're likely to sit in the back, which means I don't really have to deal with the support effects anymore. Or they could do that. That's cool. I'm fine with them getting negative support effects on their attacks. I wouldn't have expected it, but I'll take it for sure. And I actually like Krona being in the back a lot more than Shioni, because like I said, Shioni has the better support effects. And in fact, the only support effects between these two. So having Shioni in the front just to take a nice, strong hit to the face is pretty nice, honestly. And how much damage does this do? 420. Nice. And that does 50. I don't think I could take it out with just a Raptor combo, unfortunately. So we're just going to end turn, and hopefully they just stay in this formation. Because, honestly, this Shioni getting less attack is great for me. And I'm actually not super worried about Medusa being knocked out here either. Because if Medusa is knocked out, I would get the boost to the FP again. And that'll just basically allow me to tank both of these. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Tefla scale here, allowing me to take out this Shioni, because this Shioni's not surviving this. Turns out it does not have 800 health. And then I want to inflame Zephyr here, just in case Rock gets taken out. And then I think that's going to be good, because this Krona is definitely going to attack Medusa or Rock here. And I'm not worried about Zephyr in the slightest. Yep, I had a feeling. Unfortunate, because I don't get the link now. But I do get to use Zephyr's strongest move. So let's go ahead and Tefla dive this guy. And maybe even Golden in Excited. Which might move it forward, actually. Which would be amazing. And unfortunately, I used the Inflame, but I think we'll be fine. Go ahead and move forward for me. Thank you. Now it has the negative support effect. It's closer to me. And I get the Tefla dive again because I'm the only one left. Actually, what do the commentators have to say about this? It's the final Venusaur for Phoenix and Rupert. These two warriors are taking a moment to size each other up. What's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is I'm going to Tefla dive this guy and he's going to die. 455 damage from a crit. And with that, Rupert is down. And Phoenix squeaks by for the win. Ooh, yeah. For, unfortunately, 50 points that we can't use right now. It seems you are the champion for a reason. Still, I will defeat you one day. I can tell you've both been working on improving your skills. And that you both share a love for battling and Vivosaurs. They are truly wonderful creatures, and it's nice to see fighters who understand that. Congratulations, Phoenix. Here's your champion's prize pack. And we get the mini Rupert icon, the cool Rupert icon, and the mask leg mask. It's amazing that you won again, Phoenix. All the other fighters were gunning for you. I'll have to be careful around you from now on. Well, if you feel like testing your mettle some more, I hear there's another tourney on Cranial City. All right, now that the first leg of the Caliosteo Super Cup is over, I actually want to go look at some of these rewards. All of them except for the leg mask, actually, because the leg mask basically is just another version of the colored mask, where instead of getting a certain type of Vivosaur, it gives you a certain bone type, which the leg mask, of course, gives you only legs, which is very good if you're looking for powering up Vivosaurs. But the other rewards we got were icons, so we need to talk to Ike here and see if we can find the mini Rupert, which is right here, and then we got the cool Rupert, which is somewhere. Where is it, actually? There it is. It's basically them giving you icons to match the main characters' icons that we got a while ago. But I like both of these. They're cool rewards for just beating Rupert again. And I think it's fitting that we were able to get something for Rupert as well. But I think with that being said, we're going to end the first episode of the postgame here. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we have some past antagonists that we need to go visit. But until then, happy adventuring.